Hello everyone.
Hello.
This month's collaboration is about
Full-time versus part-time van life.
Please look at everybody's videos and their logos will be along on the screen. So our first
Pros, yes.
for full-time van life is...
Well, I suppose there'd be no council tax, which is my biggest bugbear.
Yeah.
And there'd be no mortgage, electricity or water bills to pay. So basically, you have the freedom of no...
bills.
Yeah, no bills. That sounds good to me.
And mentioning the word freedom, if you were full-time in our motorhome, we would have the freedom to travel wherever we wanted to.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
that would be another pro for full-time van life.
Yes.
We can't really think of anything else, can we?
That's enough, isn't it? Go wherever you want. The freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
But our cons are...
Our first con in this particular motorhome, believe it or not, would be we've got a 10-year water ingress warranty for our motorhome. And believe it or not, after reading the small print, it would invalidate the warranty if you lived in your van full time.
Yeah. So that's a definite no-no for us.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want to do that.
No. We just so happened to have read through the warranty last week for some reason.
So that's the first con.
So we couldn't do it in this van, could we?
No.
End of story. Con would be for us is living in a 6-metre van.
Yes, that'd be
Full
a bit
time.
tricky, I think.
Yes, I think that we would struggle with that. We would have to upgrade to a bigger motorhome.
Yeah, there'd have to be a bit more room in it, I think, so that you could have your own space.
Yeah.
You know, and more space to move about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Because
enough
you wouldn't
space.
be able to get your awning out, would you? Because usually where you park up, you can't put awnings up and things like that.
No.
So yes, I think we'd need a larger van.
Yes, definitely.
Would be worrying where we were going to park up each night. Having to try and look and plan for a park up for every night, because you know, we've watched some videos of people that do live full-time in the vans and they're constantly having to try and find somewhere to stay. Then when they get there, they can't stay, or there's problems overnight on, you know, on a car park they've parked in or wherever. So that would be a real worry to us, wouldn't it? We wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah, I suppose you could stay on dedicated campsites for weeks on end, but that would be defeating the freedom.
Yeah, so it, you know. So the planning of somewhere to park up at each night would be a concern.
Where would you empty your grey waste, black waste and fill up with fresh water?
Yeah.
That would be a concern of ours. Would you have to go onto campsites and stop overnight at costs to do that?
Yeah, and I know, I've known people have said that some campsites charge you £5. Now it might be more expensive now, because that was probably, I don't know, a year or so ago when I've heard that. So it might be more expensive to do that, but then they've got to the campsite and they won't let them come on to do that. I mean, we've heard other people say, oh, you just go to public toilets and empty your cassette in a public toilet.
Well,
I'm afraid I don't think that's us, is it?
No. That seems to be a big chore to me.
It's not something that we'd want to do, is it?
So that would be a concern.
Yeah, a big concern. If you're living full-time in your van and you got to find somewhere to empty your black and grey waste,
where would it go?
Yeah.
Where would you go to do it?
We wouldn't like that hanging over us, would we?
No, that's true.
Another con of living full-time in your motorhome would be trying to find somewhere to do your washing. And yes, okay, there are petrol stations nowadays that do have washing machines and tumble dryers on site, but then again you've got to look up where those sites are, and then you've got to travel to where that petrol station is, and then you've got to hang about until your washing's done, and then go on to wherever you're going to go. It all seems a little bit too hard work for us, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not really.
Or the easy option would be to go on a campsite.
Yes.
To do all your washing, get rid of your waste, put on, get fresh water supply, etc. Which is, if you're going to do it full time, is a fairly costly exercise.
Yeah, because you're going to, I mean, if you go away, you're emptying your cassette, aren't you, every so many days. So that means every so many days you've got to go on a campsite. Now, we have heard people say they have 2 cassettes. So when one's full, they put the other one in. But I don't think I'd fancy that cassette sloshing about.
No, not in our van.
Not in this van anyway. And obviously, as we've said, you'd need a bigger van. But even then, if you got it in your garage, I don't think, no.
Yeah,
anyway,
so to us, there's more cons than pros of living full time
in your van.
In the van.
Other cons of living full time in the motorhome would be if you needed regular medication from doctor's
appointments, hospital appointments,
especially if you're under treatment, that sort of thing. Also, parcels and post. You'd have to organise where you are going to collect your post, and where you're going to have it parcels delivered. And I mean, I know with today's technology, you can collect parcels from various shops and things like that, but you've got to organise where you're going to go, and then you've got to travel there to go and collect them.
It's still it's a logistics issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, motorhome and van life is supposed to be fun. That to me, that sounds like a chore of trying to organise that sort around being full time in your motorhome.
Yeah. I think that's about it, isn't it?
For the full time,
Full time.
Yeah.
So part time, pros and cons. The pros of part-time van life would be the enjoyment of discussing where we're going to go.
Yeah, the planning,
booking, and then planning our trips.
Yeah, so it seems like you're going away on holiday.
Yes, so you know, you're booking a holiday, even though you might be doing it once a month or twice a month or whatever.
It's a new destination. You regard it as going away from home.
As a holiday, yeah. And then everything that you take with you is clean.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like a holiday.
Yeah.
And you've got your accommodation with you.
Pro would be having a base to come back home to. We like our creature comforts that home provides. So yeah, it's nice to come back home for that.
Yeah, we like to go away.
Yeah.
But we also like to be at home as well.
Yeah. Seeing as we don't work, I suppose people that have got jobs and they don't like their jobs.
Yeah, want to get out of the rat race.
Exactly. So they don't look forward to going back home, back to that routine, the work routine. But because we're retired, then we quite like pottering around at home. I suppose because of the novelty factor of going away in your van and being away for a few days or a couple of weeks at a time, you've got something to look forward to. Whereas if you were living in it full time, then maybe that novelty factor would start to wear a bit thin. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So that's all our pros for part-time living.
Yes.
Now what would our cons be for part-time living? The only con we could think of would be if we were away in the van and
we're enjoying ourselves that much,
and it had come to the end of our
yeah,
stay there,
it'd be
having
sad to go home. Yeah.
having to go home, and we might be a bit sad to have to go home.
Yes.
I mean, we could extend it being retired, but
Yeah.
not always, because we look after our granddaughter.
Only
Con we could think of.
So in our situation, being part-time suits us
Yeah,
more than
living full time.
Yes, living full-time, yeah. What did you think to it all, Archie?
He likes part-time motorhoming because he likes coming in the van, but he also likes being at home.
That's
don't you,
true,
Arch?
because he's got his favourite places to go and hide, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what our other collaborators think
Yeah.
about full-time or part-time.
Yeah.
So watch all their videos, the links
Yeah.
below.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.